What's up, everybody? Today we are reacting to P.O.D. Youth of the Nation.
You said that you love this song?
Okay, I'm going to be completely honest. I haven't heard this song since I was probably like 10. So it's been like 20 years. But I did used to like sing this song at karaoke night.
When you were 10?
Maybe even younger.
Wow, what a pick.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not familiar with this song, so we're going to dive in, give it a listen, see what I've been missing.
Yeah.
Like what I did there?
Yeah, this is a good one, man, and I think you're going to enjoy it. But before we start, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We post every single day. We're the best channel on the goddamn planet, and I promise you won't regret joining.
That's right. You want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Paper Chase.
And it's the one and only Diamond Don Juan. Sometimes I forget. I literally have like fish brain. I'm like, did we introduce ourselves? And then I'll say it, and I'm like, did he just introduce himself? Did I already introduce myself?
I didn't, so you got it good on that one. You actually reminded me because I forgot to introduce myself.
Well, let's frickin' go. Hold up.
Of my life, I wish I would have known, cause I didn't kiss my mama goodbye. I didn't tell her that I loved her, how much I cared. I thank my pops for all the talks and all the wisdom he shared. Unaware, I just did what I always do. Every day the same routine before I skate off to school. But who knew that this day wasn't like the rest? Instead of taking the test, I took 2 to the chest. Call me blind, but I didn't see it coming. Everybody was running, but I couldn't hear nothing except gun blast. It happened so fast, I didn't really notice kid though I survived in class. Maybe this kid was reaching out for love, or maybe for a moment he forgot who he was, or maybe this kid just wanted to be hugged. Whatever it was, I know it's because we are the youth of the nation. We are youth of the nation. We are the youth of the nation. We are youth of the nation. Little Susie, she was only 12. She was given the world with every chance to excel. Hang with the boys and hear the stories they tell. She might act kind of proud but no respect for herself. She finds love in all the wrong places. The same situations, just different faces. Changed up her pace since her daddy left her. Too bad he never told her she deserved much better. Johnny boy always played the fool. He broke all the rules so you would think he was cool. He was never really one of the guys. No matter how hard he tried, up the thought of suicide. It's kind of hard when you ain't got no friends. He put his life to an end, they might remember him then. You cross the line and there's no turning back. Told the world how he felt with the sound of a gat. We are the youth of the nation. We are youth of the nation. We are the youth of the nation. We are youth of the nation.
First thoughts.
I mean, it's interesting because we just did an Offspring song that
Yeah.
was, the kids aren't all right.
Mm-hmm.
And then we did Everlast the other day. And there's like this theme, I feel like, of all these songs about just talking about these different, stories and the things that, kids are going through in life.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting because you and I share a similar background in a lot of the stuff that we've gone through.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think it's normal. Like, to me, that's just a normal childhood, which is like, having friends that were strung out on drugs, like, friends that got shot, friends that, you said you had a friend that killed somebody. I knew somebody who, killed somebody in a drug deal gone wrong. I know somebody who got killed in a drug deal gone wrong. Just all this stuff that was just part of my life. And I was watching, I think it was like Euphoria with like my ex, and she was just like, this show is so ridiculous. It's just like so over the top. And
You're
I'm
like,
actually, it's like, feels like this was my life. And she's like,
Yeah.
what? And I'm like, yeah, this doesn't feel over the top to me.
and I'm sure now that you have a teenage son who, like, he's a good kid.
He watched it and he's like, that show is so crazy. And I'm just like, that was my life.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to tell him that, but I'm like, yeah, that was what my life was like.
And then now that you see how your son's living and you're a good parent and you're like, man, how I grew up was not how a kid should grow up, you know? And I feel that way all the time. And I meet like normal people or like talk to people about like their childhood and like I love it when kids are like, I started smoking weed at like 18 or 16. Oh, and I was like, dude, I was fucking like, you know, doing hard drugs at like 12, you know, like
Yeah.
hard drugs, or you know, drinking at like 11 years old or 10 years old in my friend's basement. You
Yeah,
know,
I
like,
mean, I got blackout drunk the first time when I was like 12.
yeah,
you
getting
know?
in massive trouble, like 2 felonies at 12 years old, like seeing the darkest parts of life.
Mhm.
And I feel like it does kind of explain though, because there's 2 ways you can kind of go about it. I mean, I guess there's multiple directions, but you can get exposed to like that dark side of life at a young age and come out on the other side a better person with more experiences and wiser, or it can completely destroy you. And I feel like both of us came out on the good side eventually.
I feel like most people get destroyed by it, but I want to get back into this song
Yeah.
and I want to continue this conversation because it is bringing up a lot of, you know, just thoughts. And yeah, we'll explore that a little bit more. But this brought back memories of like,
fucking with your friends while they're asleep. Yeah.
Who's to blame for the life the tragedies claim? No matter what you say, it don't take away the pain that I feel inside. I'm tired of all the lies. Don't nobody know why. It's the blind leading the blind. Guess that's the way that the story goes. Will it ever make sense? Somebody's gotta know. There's gotta be more to life than this. There's gotta be more to everything I thought exists.
We are the youth of the nation. We are youth of the nation. We are the youth of the nation. We are youth of the nation. We are
Well, I love the song. It's so powerful, and when I forgot about it. When all those kids are like chanting the "Youth of the Nation" part, God, it just brought back all this nostalgic memories of listening to the song when I was younger.
yeah, I mean, I love the video. I love the yearbook pictures. When I first saw it, almost like made me think of like the cartons, like the missing kids on the cartons. So
That's what I
it
was
was like
thinking
this
too.
dual, you know, meaning and perspective of like you have like the yearbook pictures of all the youth, but then also like for whatever reason it just struck the chord of being like, and I guess you got it too, of like the missing kids, which is kind of what the song is about. Is like the kids falling, you know, through the cracks. And I go between like two sides of being like ultra liberal and ultra conservative almost. Like I swing sometimes depending on my mood.
Yeah.
Because like there's an aspect of me having gone through that I have empathy. Like I know what it's like to be in that position. Like that first verse where he's talking about, you know, this kid going to school, you know, just like any other day, and then somebody shoots him in the chest, and then he says maybe the kid was just looking for love. Maybe. And so there's a part of me that's just like, oh, this fucking liberal, like, you know, it's my socioeconomic factors that made me do this. But then there's a part of me that's like, I was watching a police video the other day. This is going to be a long-winded explanation a bit, but I'll land the plane. And it's a woman who gets caught stealing and shoplifting. And she totally like freaks out and like is like, you know, she could have just been left the store. They were just like, hey, just leave the store. But she's like, I didn't do anything. Starts arguing with the police. It turns into an arrest. It turns into them finding drugs. And then she's like, no, you don't understand. Like I have my kid, you got to let me go so I can be with my kid. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, yeah, I know that you're supposed to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and, you're supposed to, be a bigger person. And there's people who go through dark shit in their life and they don't, fall into a life of crime. But that kid, her kid, like what fucking chance does that kid have?
Mm-hmm.
Because the next part of the video where she's like, hey, I need you to give my purse to my husband. Well, where's your husband? Is it that guy right there? No. Is it the other guy that you were with in the store robbing shit with? No. So like she's hanging out with all these fucking dirt bags, stealing shit. And then they look in their purse and they're like, whose credit cards are these? You have 6 credit cards with not your name. She's like, oh no, like I just found, she's given some explanation. The cops are just like, you know what? Whatever. We're taking you to jail. Where's your husband? He's over there in the car. He's banging on the window with the flashlight for like 3 minutes. And then the guy wakes up and they're like, yeah, there's drug paraphernalia. He's like passed out on fucking heroin. That's somebody's, parents.
Life. Yeah.
Right. And
life,
they're going to grow up and be the kid that like shoots somebody and everybody, the right will be like, no, I don't give a shit. That it doesn't matter. There's no reason that you can do that. But it's like some people they start out with such dysfunction and such chaos and such trauma. And I didn't grow up around that to a degree. Like I had a pretty loving family in a lot of ways. Like there was chaos. Like my dad is a chaotic dude. He was, he got me high when I was like 10 or 11. He was buying me liquor when I was 13 or 14. So I can't imagine doing that. But, I still went down a bad path. I wasn't abused like physically or, anything like that. And, I still went down this dark path. And a lot of, kids don't have any type of guidance. They only have darkness. They only have, bad examples in their life. They do come from trauma. And then you get these results.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking when you see that. And it's heartbreaking when, you see it from like the outside looking in and there's nothing you can really do about it. And that's just like, it just happens all around the world. I mean, it's unfortunately something that happens, and I 100% agree with you. It's very easy to, cast judgment on people and not understand like how they got that way, what brought them to that. And I mean, I know this is like the most cliche thing to say, but like, the children are our future. And it's up to us to nurture them and set them up for success. And, I kind of had the same as you. Like I was like loved by my parents, but like my dad was like pretty absent. I didn't really like have him in my life as much as I should have. Once I was in my formative years, like he was there when I was a child.
Yeah.
But when I was like, really acceptable to like peer pressure and things like that, like he was gone. And then my mom, like she was like, I love my mom. She watches this channel. So, but this is fact. Like I got 2 felonies when I was 12 years old.
Yeah.
I was terrible. And like my mom at one point was like, drug testing me every day. And like, I was always failing. And eventually she's like, fuck it. There's nothing I can do about it. So at the age of like 12, she started allowing me to smoke weed. At 13, she was buying me, handles of vodka, like once every couple days. Like it was pretty bad, but she like realized like as long as like I was going to do it anyways. And I was doing drugs and all kinds of stuff. And, but at the same time, like, I had the one thing my mom did is she always loved me like unconditionally and showed me support.
That's kind of what like I'm getting at, not to cut you off, but it's like if there was like a couple levers in my life that weren't clicked in the right direction, this might sound crazy, but I might have been a school shooter or something. Like
that's crazy.
I'm just saying, like when you're that like basically just off the fucking chains, right? Like the absence of love in your life could be the difference between, hey, I'm going to go rob these people and sell drugs, and I'm going to go, do something crazy. Just that little absence of love is what I'm getting at. It's just one little lever where it's like you don't have that love for your parents in the household, and that could have been the difference. Because I was going down, this self-destructive and then ultimately destructive path. And like, again, this might be crazy, but it's like I was getting some puss. So like if you like are a young man that's coming up who doesn't have like the love of your parents, or maybe your parents are there, but they're just not, present in your life, and you don't have close friends, and you don't have any, outlets for your sexual frustration. It's like, that's like the recipe for those dudes that go do that.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, a couple of those things are missing from my life. And it's like, who knows? Like, I could have gone in that direction because I was already like in a chaotic, I didn't care. Like, that was the biggest thing. Like, at that point in my life, I was like, I don't give a shit. If I go to jail, like, I don't care if I die. I was literally like, you're doing reckless shit. Like, you could die. I'm like, yeah, so what?
You're like, yeah, what do I have to lose? There's nothing to
Yeah.
lose. Yeah.
And I think a lot of that comes from the absence of having like, strong male role models in your life who can kind of guide you in that direction and recognize like there is this energy that young men in particular have. Like, I can't speak from the perspective of a young woman, but we have to have something in our lives like a goal or a focus for that energy. Because if you don't handle that and point that in a direction, it generally turns into like something negative.
Absolutely.
Like if you don't have like any, because that was the thing. I was like, I looked at the adults in my life and I didn't have anybody that I really looked up to that I was like, oh yeah, they're living a life that I want to live. I was like, you're working as like a, a 9-to-5 job that you don't really like,
Just surviving.
yeah, just surviving. And that was everybody around me. And I was like, I would rather just like, live fast and crash into the brick wall than wake up and, be my parents' age, slaving away. They came home tired. They didn't look like they were having fun in life. Now as an adult, I see it from the other side and I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of joy in just the simple moments.
Absolutely.
But at that time, it just looked like a bleak future that I was like, I don't want that.
Yeah. Well, to bring it back to the song, I mean, it's funny because when I listened to the song as a kid, it went over my head, but I remember it kind of just feeling like an anthem for like me and my friends and like what I was, my life at that time. Now it just seems like such a message. You know what I mean? And I think it's very important to take this song as a message and really just extend. I mean, I'm a sucker for like helping kids. Like I love just like, obviously I have a 6-year-old daughter, so that's kind of where it stemmed from. But like, I coached her soccer team and like nothing felt better than just like watching these kids get better and improve and helping them and being there for them. And it's just so important, I mean, if you're a parent, obviously take care of your kids and do the best you can for them. But also like, you never know what kid out there just needs support and needs love and needs, help.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be completely honest. There's times I look at, I'm self-critical. So I look at all the things that I could have done better as a parent and feel like I failed in so many areas. And when I was splitting up with my ex, that was one of the things I was like, this is the critical moment in my life when everything went wrong. When I went down this path of like, hey, I was a good kid that got A's in school and then my parents got divorced and then things started going downhill. And so my initial thing was like, I don't care where we're at. Like, we keep our family together. It's not about you and I. Like we have a bigger thing. And it was like, no, it's not, but the one thing I made just a promise to myself. That's why like I got a place like 2 minutes away. Cause I was like, I'm not going to let him go down that path. Like if he's going to stray in that direction, it won't be because I wasn't there. And, I used to travel all over the country, chasing hailstorms. That's how I made my money. And I was like, I can't do that anymore. Like, even though that was like such a huge part. And I'll be honest, like I haven't exactly recovered from that. Like it's been a struggle ever since I made that choice where I was like, I'm not going to travel and do all this anymore, but I look at the direction or at least where he's at in his life. And I'm like, dude, he's so much better than where I was at. You know what I mean? He doesn't have the same like anger that I had, the same like nihilism where I didn't see any future. In some ways I'm like, man, he's kind of sheltered and a little bit like soft. Like he needs to have a little bit more ambition. But I'm like, dude, at least he's not showing any of the signs of like the darkness and the antisocial behavior. And he doesn't do drugs. He doesn't drink. I'm like,
you could thank his mom for that. No, I'm just kidding.
Exactly.
Hey, thank you guys for watching, man. That was a great video. I love videos like this because it brings up just awesome conversations and stories and self-reflection. And so if you guys have any other videos like this, please suggest them down below.
Yeah, great song. I mean, it's like Chatty Cathy's over here, but it's just one of those songs that brings out to me just so much, meaningful conversation. So thank you for joining on this. and we will see you on the next one.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.